Beep boop a doop. I'm back. There was no episode last week. It's just because I didn't have time. It's whatever though. I'm back. I'm back in black, baby. All right, but as soon as the club activities were finished, Rena flew off, probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home. Steven, you said I was talking like low. Tell me if it's better. It's better right here. I'm trying not to peak the audio. So today was just Mion and me walking home together, a rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure, meaning that damn construction site from before. Mion would probably tell me. The murder by dismemberment that seemed to happen there. Over there, the damn construction site. Did something happen there long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations and a murder. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided to listen the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into a damn reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor, prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo, struck deals with legislators, punched a man, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. There was any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? Record scratch? None. She promptly cut me off, the same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of the discussion. Tamaki said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought a murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated. I slightly dejected inside. Later, see you tomorrow, you fucking piece of shit. You can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it. I won't. Oh yeah, last episode, they fucking drew like a dick on his forehead or something because he lost a card game. Mion held her head back with laughter while stealing glances at my face. I wonder what kind of nasty doodles they drew. Damn you, Mion. You shall rule this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it all over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pass. Kenshi, that's a little. I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it's always like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered in my ear, "Welcome home, Kenshi. Daddy's in a bit of a rut right now, so don't bother him. Okay? He can't come up with a new idea? It's because the deadlines are so close together this time." Doesn't work well as well. Dad's painting feeds our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the memorables. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Would it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering the house? The theme of peace this time is in the household. So it seems your father wants to use a house as a motif. It's quite a that's quite a bothersome motif. Kenshi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it later. Come on. Please don't use my room as the motif. Kenshi, there's still some time before dinner. Please go take a walk or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it wouldn't be a bad idea to go take a walk so I don't aggravate him. Fine, I guess I will then. Also, wipe that penis off your face. I said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I need some time to kill. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could go read a book at the bookstore, but it would take an hour by bike to get to town. It'd be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night in Himizawa creeped me out. If Mion or Sadako found about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena, so probably looking for treasure at the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. It would have been so bad to have her owe me one. Alright, I know in like one last episode I said like shit's starting to hit the fan. It's almost there. Usually after the cotton drifting festival, that's when it starts to go down. We're at the build up before the peak. The murders have yet to occur. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the dam. Tamaki-san might be there as well. That's time. I'm going to say it's Tamaki. Tamate. Whatever. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him for more details. To ask him, was there really dismemberment here in Himizawa? That was my real intention. It's nice. The PS3 version of this has like voice acting and shit, and like ambient backgrounds and whatnot, and better sound effects. The only real sound effects are Higurashi, also known as cicadas. Also, listen to this. It was my neck. I spotted Rena struggling up on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. Oh, Colonel Sanders has been lodged in me pretty firmly, if you get what I'm saying. It didn't look like Rena would be able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tamaki wasn't around, I climbed up the slope unsteadily. Hey, Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Yeah. Whoa. Kenshi. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see she was aware of it, at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident, huh? But there was a report of Colonel Sanders buried alive in a trash pile. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Kenshi. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. You came? For me? He came for you, alright. How? Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. Just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, what part of that was a joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where's Colonel Sanders? Sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? No, Rena, all I can see is you. All I see is you, baby. He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials like they were caging him in. Free Colonel Sanders. Colonel lives matter. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. It seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way she'd be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders is so cute. There's a chain on Colonel Sanders at the store, this one, that I thought she'd be able to take this one home. If Rena gave up on the Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal one from the front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. He's gonna use his man strength. Also, listen to this. I felt good. Rena blushed, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. We wasted the more likely... Also, the more days we waste, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Kenshi, I'll help out too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Here. Pulling out scraps, bending them and tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Sweaty dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I throw out, there's still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there, After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt like frantic because of how little progress I made. If I was going to do something serious, I needed an axe or a saw or something. I hit the button that brings up the fucking transcript. That's enough, Kenshi. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. Last time I did this, I got interrupted, so I'm on edge. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Oh, whoops, I meant to say I was doing my best so to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. I sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm sorry, you're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief to my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I had discovered earlier. There's a garbage pile of magazines and the newspaper bound in twine. Unless I was mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound in stacks not so reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically going back a few years. How convenient this dump has exposition in it. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. It was just as Tamika said. Then undoubtedly there would be a mention of a murder. These are troubling times. There's no end to these sickening incidents. Large part of society is drawn in by these incidents as well, so it had to have been recorded somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here. Next one. Not here. Next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know what happened. I didn't even know the perpetrator or the victim either. I only knew what happened here. I looked up every so often to see if Rena had come back. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at dirty magazines. But it just was that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know. But it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tamake wasn't lying, then both Rena and Mion. I'm totally pronouncing his name wrong. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Steven, tell me how to pronounce it. Ah, yes, there where it was. It just is. If they had just said, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rena nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they had tried to conceal it out with good intentions that made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinizawa dam worker lynching, murdered by dismembered. Mint. Here it is. The feature article was in the back, and it seemed as if there was a photograph and colored pages at the front. The pages featured an article were stuck together, and weren't so easy to open. Raina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. The police investigators were carrying a body bag, and the newspaper reporters were all bathing in the camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. A tragic nightmare in Hinizawa construction site, lynching, murder / dismemberment. The victim's site was a damn foreman. He was a damn foreman. The site was the foreman. He was assaulted by his assailants daily with an explosive backlash. From his daily actions, it's a horrible image to see the site foreman as. It happened. It really did. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was. The assailants butchered the victim's body with a hatchet. Oh, it's moving on its own now. They used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces. The head, arms, legs, and torso. Did someone... If I was good at editing, I would edit in fucking Zawaldo. I couldn't understand just from the headline that it was just too terrible. An incident? Normally a lynching is assault and murder, right? A lynching's when you hang someone, man. Dismemberment with hatches and pickaxes? That wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter. A brutal murder done by a group of people with hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah. Sorry, did I startle you? Raina dropped the axe she was holding onto the grass and behind after being startled by my voice. Stop fucking texting me. Kenshi, You see, earlier you said you'd help if you had an axe, didn't you? I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rena fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. It seemed I'd been glaring pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a little overboard. No, I'm sorry as well, I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. It's pretty worn out, and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break the last beam without an axe. You brought it after all? I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why don't you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. And this is right here. And I've said it before, but this marks the downhill. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with barley tea Rena brought and wiped off the sweat, and had gone cold. Now gone cold. We took a path to head home. I felt guilty about the tabloid, wrapping it up in my jacket. End of chapter something. Yeah, popping my knuckles right by the mic is probably a good idea. You've received new tips, the Himizawa Dam Project, and special tabloid report. Hey, one man's trash. Let's view the new ones. I'll do these and I'll be done. Himizawa Dam Project. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin number XXX, Himizawa's electoral development master plan was announced. The vast scope of the project, Himizawa Dam, was an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Himizawa. The flooded area caused by the Himizawa Dam was to include the 5 areas of Himizawa, Takasudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yaguchi. The submerged areas include 291 houses, population 1,251, 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and a fishery. All these communal, cultural, agriculture areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of an artificial lake basin. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having houses that were to be submerged banded together to create the Onifuchi Defense Alliance. The dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. The citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, XXXXX, openly refused. I'm gonna stab you.
Do it!
Stab you right in your face. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers. But the villagers did not falter. Instead, they band together even more closely, steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. The continuation of the frightening Himizawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that the fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onifuki... Fuck, I hate Japanese names. The Onifuji Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it gathered have not yet been extinguished. As long as the passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they will be able to confront whoever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. The Onifuji Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kirochu Kimiyoshi. God, fucking Japanese names. Nightmare befalls the Himizawa Dam. Lynching and murder / dismemberment. In the X month of the X day in the XX prefecture, at the Himizawa Dam construction worksite in the Shishibone City, a bone-chillingly gruesome murder / dismemberment. Even though this case has shocked the archipelago, the police will give no details of the case. What happened at the Himizawa Dam? I'm dramatic reading. They probably didn't mean to kill him at first. I mean, they fucking dismembered him. So... Had the victim resisted by swinging around a shovel, the rest of the perpetrators armed themselves in return and quickly escalated into homicide. So the So said the informed investigator A. They're right. They didn't. It started a... I know this because I'm talking from, like, future reference, but the whole damn incident, the murder incident, started as self-defense. But then it escalated. That was my alarm. That's supposed... I'm going to finish this up. I wish the body... After this bloody tragedy over, they were left with a body which nobody thought was alive. XX-san had tormented the suspects' daily lives with his rough behavior. At first, it was meant to be payback. All the perpetrators were horrified by their deed, and one even turned himself in to the police. It was the de facto leader of this group, XX, who suggested hiding the body. Reluctantly at first, they soon began to think they did not wish to be caught. The construction site had numerous places to hide the body with 6 people. They were originally supposed to hide the body and leave the area, but the de facto leader feared that the consequences of the other 5 wouldn't be able to bear the burden, and came up with a horrifying method to keep them from turning him into the police. He devised a heinous method of splitting up the body among them and making each of them responsible for hiding a piece. XX had turned a simple manslaughter into a gruesome dismemberment and forcibly involved each perpetrator in order to create a sense of unity between them. Each one participated. But what does this mean? Person A spoke out reluctantly. Ooh, that was some... I like this music. It's pretty good. XX had ordered each and every one of them to dissect a piece for themselves. They were hesitant at first, but nobody refused. In for a penny, in for a pound is what it meant. Thus an imaginable bloody ceremony began. The perpetrators wept and vomited as they performed the gruesome task. There was one person who stubbornly refused, but XX threatened them by saying nobody would change if somebody else comes up dead. Nothing would change if somebody else came up dead, and he gave up his objections, but XX's plans collapsed in the span of one night. XXX, who had refused to dissect the corpse up until the last minute, had broken down in tears at the hospital where he had been treated for an injury sustained during the scuffle and confessed. The criminals were arrested one after another, but the de facto leader's XX's whereabouts are still unknown. Also, the right arm hidden by XX is yet to be found. Despite an ongoing search, the horrible individual has so far managed to elude law enforcement. What could the police be doing? It appears that XX said he was going to throw the body, right arm, into the marsh. XX's car was discovered abandoned near the marsh, but there's no clue to his whereabouts. XX didn't trust his companions. One cannot deny the possibility he expected his companions to confess to the police and use his car as a decoy. Of course, I doubt that theory, since he has no car. One would expect him to have a limited area which he could escape to. But within the station, there was rumors going around that he had accidentally slipped and drowned in the marsh while he went to throw away the body. To the locals, the marsh is believed to be bottomless. It's known as Onifuji, the ogre's abyss. It's said the bottom of the marsh is connected to a hellish world of demons. The atrocious demon from hell that was XX. Could it be that he had returned to hell through the marsh? The Zinji Dragon, bringer of luck and fortune, prosperous fortune, ladies leap into your arms, business sectors, business success, promotions, ambition, protection from harm. Nothing just with Pachinko and horse races, but business and even love. Guaranteed your money back. Jin Dragon Bracelets, DX, one piece. 27,800 yen. Let's just find out how much that is. How much is 27,800 yen?
27,800 Japanese yen equals 252 United States dollars and 31 cents.
Hey, I mean, it's okay. I like that little shift there. They did that as a little comic relief. Alright, I'm gonna end it here. See you next time.